Welcome, one and all, to the Raw Alternative. Our next guests have spent much of the last decade carving out a sizable niche in the Northeast Ohio music scene. Over the course of 2 full lengths and a newly released EP, their ever-evolving sound has spanned grunge, alternative metal, and prog rock, and now with their latest release, Porcelain Angels, dipping heavily into shoegaze. The Raw Alternative welcomes 3 Vultures.
Dude, I'm not good with talking on camera at all.
You're not good with talking, dude.
I'm not, dude.
Thank you guys so much for being here. It's a pleasure. Why don't you go around and introduce yourselves?
I'm Chris, I play guitar.
I'm Dustin, I play guitar and sing.
I'm Austin, and I play bass.
I see you have a new addition here.
We do. We have a new guitarist, Chris. Just wanted to add more sound, more atmosphere, do more things as a band. We're gonna try and keep it under wraps, but it is what it is, and here he is.
The reveal here on the Raw Alternative.
Yeah.
I'd like to talk about your new EP, Porcelain Angels, which came out a couple months ago, 2021, March, if I'm not mistaken.
Maybe, sure. You probably know better than me, man.
But yeah, there's been quite a sonic evolution from the previous 2 to this one. Nothing drastic, but if you're familiar with 3 Vultures, you're like, oh, okay.
Right. I think that was the reaction we got from a lot of people was like, oh, it's still you guys, but okay, like this is cool. So
They're grown up.
Yeah, we just try not to stay stagnant, and whatever comes.
Your sound spans, grunge, alternative metal, and maybe moments and hints of progressive rock. And now I'm hearing, dare I say, hints of so where did that come in?
Just listening and finding new bands all the time. I think our basics will probably always be like 90s grunge alternative and stuff. But when we released this new EP, we started hearing new titles that we had never heard before, like shoegaze and post-rock and stuff. So, like any other artist, I started searching those groups on Facebook and started sharing it, and it kind of, it was well received within some of those groups. So I guess, yeah, those titles might fit with the others now.
They call it new gaze, as I believe we mentioned off camera before, and heavy gaze, and pioneered by stuff like the Deftones and Failure, and you have these bands now like Nothing and Whir and Dive that are, really, you hear a lot of those 90s sounds, but updated, and it sounds fresh.
You and I talk about shoegaze bands and stuff all the time, so what is really cool is TikTok, and you see like young teenagers on TikTok listening to like Loveless and Slow Dive and stuff like that, so hopefully there is a revival, like they say,
at least in this moment, seems like something's happening, so.
When we started, all of our fans were in their 40s and 50s because
man, you guys sound like Nirvana.
I don't hear it, but and so I think it'll be cool that if we can keep doing what we're doing, and then thanks to this shoegaze revival or whatever, there's a more of a younger crowd.
Talking about, different artists from different times and different places, we were mentioning off camera sort of earlier, the Northeast Ohio scene, is so very vast, and unfortunately, there's a lot of great artists who never get to cross paths much. So I was wondering your thoughts on the scene and what you would like to see to open it up a little more.
I think the scene's great in Northeast Ohio. There's half of the bands I listen to all the time are local bands from around here. Everyone thinks there's just punk and metal around here, but there's so many different bands and different types of music, and I think you just gotta open yourself and introduce yourselves and try and get connections and reach out and let all these circles kind of clash into one. So
as of right now, you're on your 3rd sort of major release. Any thoughts on why you've survived sort of the average life cycle of
Well, I think having that attitude, the last 5 years we never really said no to a show. Whether it was, free or you get paid $100 or there's gonna be 3,000 people there or 10 people there, like we just never said no. Grindcore bands, indie acoustic, we've had rappers open up, like we had a guy play, what did he even play? A hurdy-gurdy, is that the instrument?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't even know what the instrument was, but he was playing something weird where he cranked on it and
Some Game of Thrones stuff.
yeah, and then we played right after him and played our alternative rock right after him, so. And that's helped us with just creating connections, because you never know when someone you've played with is like,
Well, we're starting a podcast. Come do an interview.
We're starting another band that's closer to you guys. Come and play this show.
and then you reach more fans and followers like that, or, anything like that.
Well, I mean, I'll say this. I was at Three Vultures with the current lineup, besides me, obviously. I was at their first show.
Yeah.
So, like, kind of seeing where they started to where they are now, it's definitely, like, when he first showed me Porcelain Angels, the song, I think, what did I actually say? Like, kind of what we like.
He was like, please let me join. Let me in the band now,
Yeah,
guys.
that's exactly what happened. Yeah. Yeah, they definitely still have, like, the Three Vultures sound. It doesn't sound like somebody completely different, but you can tell it's like it's definitely an evolution. You got anything to say?
We were all pretty fresh when we started the band. We've all kind of evolved with our instruments, and it's showing in our music now, I think.
Yeah, well, we've learned our instruments. Yeah. None of us were musicians. I played guitar for a couple years and was in a couple bands, and then, we're all just doing our best to make something that doesn't sound bad, so.
Now that we've come out on the other side of something pretty serious and things are sort of opening up, what's your plans?
What's Joe Dirt say? Like, keep on keeping on, man. Like, play shows, write new music, stay together. Don't have too many kids.
Yeah.
Yeah, Austin's expecting soon.
September.
John had a kid last February.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
I got a puppy, so that's as most I get.
I got cats.
We weren't talking about
Yeah.
the relationship status, bro.
Yeah.
Congratulations to the two of you. Tell us where we can hear you across the web.
Wherever you want. Any streaming platform, 3vultures.com, Facebook, YouTube, Spotify, iTunes, Apple Music, Amazon Music, everywhere.
Thank you so much for being here.
Thanks for having us.
3 Vultures.
Thank you.
Hey, thank you. We survived.
Your camera is, you're recording.
3 Vultures live, because as someone who's seen you a handful